Ye salute and everybody, the peace and light. Welcome to the Van Inverted Podcast family. Doing additions, I am the gracious Hotel Black. Thank y'all for checking in. That is a person in making progress. This is Van Inverted Podcast. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Right now, hit the like button. That is in all little traffic my way. As you can see, we just been started over here, right? Dig this, family. Enough of the bullshit. We are what we are, and we are what we are for a reason, family. Day 7, going into the 7th day of the riot and protest since, of course, the tragic, very, very tragic, and if we say viral video of a brother George Floyd, man. Still hard for me, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. Still hard for me. There's still something that's hard for me to, just really come to grips with. And it's one of the things, man. And obviously, it's caused protests and riot like it always does. In 35, major cities across the country. Here's what the irony about these protests, right? It's something that I've been bringing to light. You don't really see a lot of us. What I mean by us, you don't see a lot of us out there on the front line. You see all these little white college kids, you got these middle-aged, you got these soccer moms, etc. out there with the Black Lives Matter signs and shit, man. So now, of course, we know, every night it's been, protests. You got your factions in between. You got your people that's out there that want to see justice brought for the brother George Floyd. You got your people that's out there. You got your people that's out there to stir commotion up. And what I mean by that, you do have your fascist groups that like to start anarchy, create anarchy, to cause hysteria for whatever that reason is. You know what I mean? I don't know if it is to bait this race war. That's inevitable. That's here. But I don't know. But but you have all of those factions out there. And the thing is, you have the peaceful protests, the peaceful protesters that are mixed in with the people that want to cause chaos. So I guess you could say it could be hard to differentiate the two, right? So last night, of course, every night there's been rioting. We fired, they burning down, they looting targets and all this and that, right? Last night, the media had reported that once they, start headed toward the DC area, toward the White House, the Secret Service, of course, as they supposed to do its protocol, rushed Donald Trump and his family to the bunker, right? Apparently, now this report has just, apparently, and it's crazy because I had said this as he was doing what he did today, that we're gonna get in a minute. So today, Donald Trump schedules a press conference around the time that the curfew that was, issued for DC and amongst other states. He did schedule a press conference for them. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm static. I'm looking at now because the curfew done ended for a lot of states, and I'm looking at right now that in Dallas they starting to arrest people. You know what I mean? So before we continue now, basically, okay, Donald Trump, he issued this. He did this press conference, and what they did for all the protesters that was in that area outside the White House by the Rose Garden or whatever, right? Across the street from the Rose Garden, wherever the protesters were. They tear gas. It was a peaceful protest. We watching this live because, again, Donald Trump was supposed to give a news conference. It's almost like they scripted that shit. Like they knew that the press was gonna be, doing that. So he wanted his photo op, right? The church across from the Road Garden, St. John Church, a historic church, been around since the 1800s. All presidents have been known to go there and, you know, pay their respect and pray and all this and that. Now, apparently, Donald Trump has never done this in the years he's been in office. But all of a sudden tonight, at that time, he wanted to take himself and his whole staff out to pay his respect at the St. John's Hospital. Now, we all know the only reason that he did that is for the photo opportunity and to show his might, show him his strength after, you know, because he damn sure don't want to look weak. This president has a serious ego problem, and that shit is dangerous. It's dangerous to this country, family. But you know what we won't do? So I want to play, but however, right up before we go, martial law has been issued, family. Wow, I'm watching. I'm sorry, y'all. This LA. Let's, you know what? Wait a minute. Let's see. We gotta go to this. We gotta go to this. This is live right now. It's just live right now. Let's see. We gotta go to. Give me a second, y'all. Let's see if we can pull this up. Let's see if we can pull this up, because they are arresting these kids right now. Let's go ahead and we're gonna share this screen with y'all. I want y'all to see what's going on. We'll see what I want y'all to see what we're doing. I want y'all to see what we're doing. Check us out, fam. See, let's get a little volume on this shit. This is out in Los Angeles right now.
All in all, at least 20 people here. Yeah, right here at Hollywood and Argyle. People who are in custody, it's unclear if they are in custody because of looting or if it is related to the curfew violation that it is past 6 o'clock.
Martial law has been declared. Now, for anybody that don't, I'm sure y'all are aware right now.
Being taken into custody right there, who was
Look at
fighting
this.
a bit with police, so they had to not only handcuff his hands, but they also had to tie his legs together.
Tied him got him hog tied like an animal. This is an angry citizen.
Cruiser for the LAPD's Hollywood division. Now I'm going to punch in an address real quick because we're hearing about some additional activity also in the area, but a few miles away, so let me go ahead and punch it in. It's where the airship is, yeah. Cool. Perfect.
Over here, chopper shot of LA. There were so many protesters, almost like the last of the city tonight. Obviously, you know, with that more extensive curfew. Even New York City, you know, their curfew is till 11 o'clock.
There's additional people taken into custody there. This is going to be Vine and Melrose. So Melrose and Vine, we have additional people now under the custody of.
So y'all know, just so y'all, because I want y'all to see.
This building and figure out what type of business.
I want y'all to
we did hear about some
to see why. To see exactly why this is going. Why, you know, what prompted them to do this? Why the curfew? But Donald Trump declared martial law, family. It's official. We are officially in a state of martial law.
Can't see?
Can't make this up, family. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Let's get his ass here, because a lot of people don't really get what this is, man. And that's why I be asking people are y'all really, how far are you really willing to go to get your point across? How far are you willing to take it? Because they're proven time and time again that they willing to take it to the fucking max. They gonna take it to the max to uphold those constitutional values that, oh, you niggas, you Negro love to try to include yourself in for some reason. This history, civics, social studies, 101, family. History, social studies, 101. Right? The 1776. Slavery didn't end to 1865. You Negroes was property. So why the fuck we still thinking that this system isn't treating us right, screaming about our constitutional values? Negro, that shit had nothing to do with you. They weren't talking to you. You were cattle. You were part of cattle and fucking corn, cotton, and moonshine. Slave. In fact, you were the biggest stock this country ever seen, and still is. That's why it's no contest why black people are the #1 consumers in the United States of America. No contest why. We consume more of anything than anybody. We consume more processed food. We consume more fucking GMO products. That's us. And that's what it's always been. Don't let them trick y'all to thinking that this rioting and all this shit is new. There's always been, this country was founded on the backs of slavery and injustice. The justice system was founded on such. The Boston Tea Party was a riot. The Boston Tea Party was a riot, looting. You don't have to, you don't got to take my word for it. Do your homework. That's light work. Do your research. That's light shit. It's not the first. Won't be the last. Because y'all know, look, we've been doing this shit for so long, singing the same damn song. Still we shall overcome. And they know it ain't true. Do you know what Donald Trump meant when he said, make America great again? Do you know what time he's talking about? When the white dominant society had even more control over you Negroes. Negroes got too much freedom. That's what he meant. To them, y'all act like he was talking to you. He said, a fellow American citizen. They don't look at you like that, Negro. Apologize to the Floyd family. But it ain't there. What y'all to hear this motherfucker, man?
That for George and his family, justice will be served. He will not have died in vain. But we cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob. The biggest victims of the rioting are peace-loving citizens in our poorest communities. And as their president, I will fight to keep them safe. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters. But in recent days, our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals, rioters.
Now, I want y'all to keep in mind, family, as Donald Trump was giving this speech, as literally verbatim, as Donald Trump was giving this speech, they were literally shooting tear gas and rubber bullets at protests, peaceful protests. Literally. Hold on. Wait, I gotta go back. I gotta go back to that. I gotta go back. I gotta let y'all hear this one. Here we go. I gotta let y'all hear it. I gotta let y'all hear this. Hear the call.
Take necessary action to safeguard their residents. Innocent people have been savagely beaten, like the young man in Dallas, Texas, who was left dying on the street, or the woman in upstate New York viciously attacked by dangerous thugs. Small business owners have seen their dreams utterly destroyed. New York's finest have been hit in the face with bricks. Brave nurses who have battled the virus are afraid to leave their homes. A police precinct has been overrun. Here in the nation's capital, the Lincoln Memorial and the World War II Memorial have been vandalized. One of our most historic churches was set ablaze. A federal officer in California, an African-American enforcement hero, was shot and killed. These are not acts of peaceful protest. These are acts of domestic terror. The destruction of innocent life and the spilling of innocent blood is an offense to humanity and a crime against God. America needs creation, not destruction. Cooperation, not contempt. Security, not anarchy. Healing, not hatred. Justice, not chaos. This is our mission, and we will succeed. 100%, we will succeed. Our country always wins. That is why I am taking immediate presidential action to stop the violence and restore security and safety in America. I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop the rioting and looting, to end the destruction and arson, and to protect the rights of law-abiding Americans, including your Second Amendment rights. Therefore, the following measures are going into effect immediately. First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country. We will end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor to deploy the National Guard in sufficient numbers that we dominate the streets. Mayors and governors must establish an overwhelming law enforcement presence until the violence has been quelled. If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them. I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in the city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak,
here's a simple passive income business that allows you to be free. You probably...
I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property. We are putting everybody on warning. Our 7 o'clock curfew will be strictly enforced. Those who threaten innocent life and property will be arrested, detained, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I want the organizers of this terror to be on notice that you will face severe criminal penalties and lengthy sentences in jail. This includes Antifa and others who are leading instigators of this violence. One law and order, and that is what it is. One law. We have one beautiful law. And once that is restored and fully restored, we will help you, we will help your business, and we will help your family. America is founded upon the rule of law. It is the foundation of our prosperity, our freedom, and our very way of life. But where there is no law, there is no opportunity. Where there is no justice, there is no liberty. Where there is no safety, there is no future. We must never give in to anger or hatred. If malice or violence reigns, then none of us is free. I take these actions today with firm resolve and with a true and passionate love for our country. By far, our greatest days lie ahead. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to pay my respects to a very, very special place. Thank you very much.
To make a long story short, family, it's motherfucking crazy. Basically, what Donald Trump just did, family, because mind you,
the same glasses cost so much.
Mind you, again, not one time did he mentioned the murder of George Floyd, but not one time did he mention bringing justice for Floyd in the form of making sure those other 3 officers are brought to justice. This protest, him looking strong in this time, is more important than bringing justice for Floyd. Translation, family. When he said this is a rule of one law, one order, and with the fact that we under martial law, and he wants every state to follow this one order that he gives out to keep us under martial law. And the fact that the reason everybody is protesting, he's bringing an end to, he said the riot, but he bringing an end to the protesting period. He want to bring a complete end to giving a fuck about what happened to George Floyd. If he get elected, he'll pardon this motherfucking cop. Trust me, he will pardon this cop. If he had the opportunity to do it, he will do it. And I'm really doubting, family. Now, he's also said there's a lot of quick bullshit in that 7-8 minutes. National Guard is being ordered. He's ordering every governor in every state to call in the National Guard to help restore order in their respective states due to the protests of the police brutality that caused the murder of George Floyd. Now, if any governor should feel that they disagree or don't want to follow that order to call in the National Guard, he's going to send the U.S. military in themselves. Now, for those of us that not aware of how this goes, legally, he has some leg to stand on, but you cannot call the U.S. military in to uphold state laws, which is what he's trying to do. Can't do that. However, some leg you do have to stand on if do the Insurrection Act, which the act that he's been enforcing, which hasn't been enforced since the 50s and 60s, which Kennedy did. If state officials are not abiding by federal laws that has been in place, and which they implemented the Insurrection Act to restore order during the civil rights process at that time. But think about it. This is the total opposite. Kennedy, those guys brought, and the reason why people love Kennedy, but they brought them in because the majority of all your local officials and all that, you know, was still corrupt. This during the slavery, Jim Crow era and all that, those days, segregation and that. And so Kennedy was trying to do away with that, but those key components, those are Trump dad's friends. You feel me? Those particular governors in place, because that's the time that America was great. That's the time that he's trying to get it back to. This is America, family. Over 40 million of you unemployed. Over 40 million people unemployed. Almost 3 months into the coronavirus pandemic, over 1 million cases, almost 2 million cases, over what, 100,000 or so that's died from the coronavirus. These are the numbers. George Floyd killed 14 days ago or so. 7 days ago, one of the perpetrators were arrested. 3 of them still at large. Don't look like it's gonna be a charge brought in sight, because what this bullshit ass, evil ass government has done, once again, is created this distraction not to bring justice for this man. But this distraction is something, much bigger than this, family. This is America, family. Now, when I say family, people that share this melanated hue, or that even share the mindset, I go with that. I can go with that right now, even though that share the mindset. But this shit, fuck this, man. But it's live, man. But now we know the curfew done been implemented. Pardon me. Curfew has been implemented. So
on this crowd, if their goal was
to
get them
see,
to disperse,
looting
but it
and
looks
arrest.
like they got in here for a few minutes and are now
Check
leaving
them
the
out,
scene.
y'all.
Eliana, I wonder if it had anything
Let's
to do
check
with
this
the fact
out
that
for a minute.
protesters got down there on the street with their arms raised over their heads.
Here we go.
We've seen banners
Here we
saying,
go.
hands up, and that's what they did. It's kind of a slogan that's been attached to many of these protesters. Do you think that had any effect on the sheriff's officers who were there, and then they just left?
Again, this is live
Hey,
out in Los Angeles, Hollywood.
Another thing that I'm thinking is
Looting
there
arrest.
are a number of other calls in the area, calls that I could describe as more pressing.
Still got all the
We
people
know
out
that
there with
there's
their hands
quite a
up. I
bit of looting going
can't
on in
really
the
see
area,
any
and we
officers.
have seen dozens upon dozens of arrests. So you saw
I'm
the
sure
sheriff's
they're down
helicopter
in the
there
crowd
in my
because,
shot
you
just
know, you
about a
still
minute
see
ago. I'll
people
see if
with
I
their
can
hands
capture
up.
him one more time.
So I'm
But I
wondering if
know there he is. He's monitoring everything from up above. So he very well could have told the deputies on the ground, hey, I'll keep an eye on these guys. You guys continue on to those more pressing calls, and I'll just keep you posted on where they go from here. Because besides blocking traffic, and there really isn't too much traffic at this point, these protesters really haven't been causing any issues. They have not been responsible for any of the vandalism or looting that we have seen today. And now they're continuing here eastbound on Sunset, coming up to Hayward.
You know, we can tell you our other choppers in the air as well. News Chopper 4 Bravo, it's on its way to Riverside. We understand there are as many as 200 to 300 protesters in the downtown area there, sort of where the Mission Inn is, if you're familiar with that area. I was monitoring some of the pictures coming in upstairs. We know that sheriff's deputies.
I still don't understand what the hell we doing, y'all.
Ready to move in on them. So we'll keep an eye on the situation. We'll get to that. Eliana, this is one area in Hollywood right now, Hayward and Sunset. You've been flying all over this afternoon. Can you give us an idea of where some of the larger groups of protesters are right now, other than this?
This is probably the largest group that we've seen within this last hour. But we did go take a look at that protest group in the Westwood area. That was the group that you saw on the 405 freeway near the Wilshire Boulevard exit. We went to go take a look at those protesters to see where they were. And we actually found a good number.
Don't look like they,
being
followed anything right now. I'm assuming that
very close to
all the
I
cops
believe
that's
it's going
on
to be
them, or
Beverly
is on some
Glen and
area
Wilshire, roughly
view,
that
unless
area near the golf
they heading
course.
somewhere
And
else.
we saw that they were all
It's a lot, so
being
you
taken
got
into
about at least
custody
about, you know,
by
maybe
the
200-300, I
LAPD.
guess.
We did not notice any protesters near the
And it don't look
Westwood
like they
Federal
looting or
Courthouse.
anything. They just,
That
you know,
whole area has cleared. The freeway has cleared, but we did notice that a number of the individuals that had been involved in that protest that eventually ended off on the 405 freeway, a lot of those people are now in police custody.
Eliana, was this group at all part of the other group that was over on Hollywood Boulevard when you showed us? I guess there were 20 people lined up on the curb there next to the Hollywood stars. Is this group a part of that, or is this totally separate?
saw clips of they in Hollywood. I saw Michael B. Jordan out there.
Because when we
You know,
were
we
flying
saw
over
J.
this
Cole.
crowd
I don't know if
earlier,
J. Cole was
it
in
was a
LA,
lot
but
larger than
you
what
know,
we're
we saw
seeing
Michael
here
B.
right
Jordan
now.
out there.
We estimated that it was a crowd of at least 400 people, if not more. And so what we're seeing here is significantly less than that. So at some point, I believe that they did split off, and that group has already been arrested, and not necessarily for looting. They are taking people into custody for looting, but just an overall reason why they're taking people into custody is for violating curfew. So one of the things I heard over the scanner is even if officers
They're making
suspect
us
that
go in the
someone may
house,
have
y'all.
been looting,
Not even just get
they
out
don't
the street.
really need that
It's go
as
in
a
the
reason to
house.
take them into custody. They're just taking them into custody for breaking curfew. And of course, if they get information or they get surveillance footage that leads them to believe that that person could have possibly also been involved in looting, then they could add that charge later on. But for now, at least tonight, anyone who is out here past curfew will be taken into custody for being outside.
Ileana, we're looking at a split screen right now. What we're seeing, in addition to your live picture from News Chopper 4 Alpha, is the picture that you shot just a few minutes ago. This is that Pavilions. I believe it was on Melrose and Vine. Can you talk us through it a little bit? You know, we're looking at the officers at the front door.
There's a lot of barricade themselves in there.
To watch the officers climb through the doors of the pavilions. It's the store that's right at Melrose and Vine, as you said. They had gotten word that there was some looting going on inside, and the reason that the officers had such a tough time getting in the door was that the store, we believe it was the store, put up all sorts of barriers in the front of the door to try to keep people out, to keep people away from looting. That particular pavilions, I believe, has a pharmacy, and of course it has other items that looters would be interested in getting. And so we heard that there was some looting taking place. We went over there, and when we did, they already had about 10 or 12 people in custody sitting down on Vine, but the officers weren't sure they had gotten everyone. The store is rather large, so what they did was they cleared a path for themselves by taking pallets down and taking other articles out of the way. And then they all started climbing
live looking
over
at them
everything to get into the store.
I got that casting on my
20
TV, but
officers
let's see
that
if I
made their way into
make
the
it
store
pull up
to
now.
check things out.
Still. Yeah, no, I can't pull CNN live up.
That's exactly what I will do. All Americans were
But
rightly sickened.
we ain't gotta do this. We ain't gotta hear this shit no more, family. It's martial law out here, family. You know, the solutions. Only solutions. We still waiting to get a green. You know me. I'm a rebel, family. I'm not an apologist. I'm one of them ones. You know, we got out the first day or whatever. But see, for me, right? I know what this is. And you know what I mean? To know what it is, man, my heart and prayers go out to the Floyd family, all my real RPG warriors. I'm talking about that stay on the gas. Stay on the gas. I'm not talking about no weed. I'm talking about that true global African supremacy. All my true warriors that stay on the gas. Give me a message, man. divineverdict@gmail.com. Again, divineverdict@gmail.com. Or you can send me a DM on the IG. A lot of these are messaging. We ain't going across here, family. But we for sure got a food plan. And we get in effect. Time to step up and take our nation back, family. All the time it is. Step up and take our nation back. Other than that, peace and light to the family. Y'all still make sure y'all follow the Vain Verdict Podcast on all your social media platforms. Listen to us on Apple Music. Listen to us on Google Podcasts. Check us out on Anchor FM. Listen to us on Blog Talk Radio, Breaker, Radio Public, everywhere you do your podcast and streaming at. Make sure y'all check us out. Please follow, subscribe, like Blackadelic Entertainment Television on YouTube. Just search Blackadelic Ent. Again, Blackadelic Ent, family. Till next round, y'all. We're going to see where the next round holds. Peace and light.
Outside in the all black rock, 10 rolled up when I'm out. Say they all wanna